everybody, welcome back to Starkey Forum Says. So my name is Samantha and I want to have this conversation with you because I think it's very important. Now listen to me, folks. Everybody's going to die. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. You are going to die. It is your responsibility as an adult to make sure that everything is taken care of after you die. Let me explain what I'm talking about. Say you have an insurance policy, right? You have a life insurance policy. You've done good. You've paid on it. You haven't missed your payments. It's a good life insurance policy. Yet, let's just say you have 3 children. You choose one kid and you put them as the beneficiary of, let's say, a $15,000 insurance policy. You don't bother putting your other children's name on that policy. You just tell the child that's as the beneficiary, hey, I expect you cash this in, give your siblings $5,000 apiece. Let me tell you what happens in the real world after you die. The beneficiary takes all the money, comes up with an excuse why nobody else gets any, and you leave your other children without an inheritance. Now, I know what you're going to say. My children wouldn't do that. Yes, they would. And yes, they will. And it happens more often than people realize. Every single one of you on this channel, how many of you know somebody that had their inheritance stolen by either a stepmom or dad, step siblings, another sibling, or by the state because your parents didn't do a will? How many of you? Hands up. Right. It happens a lot. What does the Bible say? The Bible tells us that a righteous man and or woman leaves an inheritance to their children's children. God isn't picky. He's not saying you have to leave them $1 million. He is saying take care of your business. If you own a car and you have it paid off, you're sitting there thinking you have nothing. You have more than most people do. You have a paid off vehicle. Even if it's old, it's still running. Why would you not have a will? If you have an insurance policy and you have not specified on that policy how much each of your children are going to get upon your death, then you have failed them. Because whoever is the beneficiary is going to be the one that takes the money and they decide who gets what. As a parent, I have a will because everything I have is paid for. So I have a will. Now in the state of Louisiana, I can write my will out on a napkin, sign my name and date it, and it'll stand up in court. I don't need it notarized. I don't need it witnessed. But if per se in the state of Louisiana, I can leave any of my children that are above the age of 23, if I chose to cut them out of my will, I legally can do so. If you're going to do that, you better notarize it, you better witness it, and you better leave a copy of it with an attorney. Because the left out kid's going to fight, especially if there's something to fight for. I'm giving you guys a heads up. Why am I talking about this? Because everybody on this channel that's been here for a while, you know my husband's father just passed away. Instead of being left an inheritance, it cost us money when he passed away because the inheritance was stolen. No way that you look at it was it not. Because just 2 months before he passed away, he signed over the land into somebody else's name that's not one of his children. There's reasons he said he did it. It doesn't matter. You put your children in a terrible position because you were not a righteous man. It was only 1.2 acres of land. It's not enough to get an attorney and fight over. It really isn't. But the point is, you took something that you could have left for your kids. You had a life insurance policy, but again, no, 2 of the 3 kids don't even know what it is. Don't know how much money it is. They don't know if there's a beneficiary on it. They know nothing. They know nothing. So again, We had to have money to cremate. Not that we mind, folks, listen to me. We do not mind. But you had land that was paid for and a life insurance policy, and your kids get nothing when you die. 2 of your 3 kids get nothing when you die. Folks, that's not okay. Especially when those kids were told when the parent was alive, I'm going to leave you guys something. I'm going to leave this land. I'm going to leave you a life insurance policy. And then that doesn't come to fruition. The opposite happens. You cost them money when you die. And one sibling gets money while everybody else comes out of pocket. Does that make sense? We don't care. We would have given the land to his sister who, I'm going to be honest, needs it more than anybody. She does. And that's what we wanted to do with that if the land went to us. But that wasn't what some people wanted to happen, and somehow the land got put in somebody's name. It's a long story, and I don't really care. My point is this: don't do that to your children. My parents have 3 children. They have an ironclad will. Ironclad. Signed by the attorneys, copy at the house, copy at the attorneys. There'll be no arguing how it's split up. Because our parents have it written down how everything's going to be. You may not think you have much, but your children deserve to have everything that you leave on this earth, even if it's a couch and a bunny-eared television set that's black and white. So, what I want all of you to do today, look up your state's laws on leaving inheritances. Can you write a will and sign it, date it, make copies, give one to all of your children, not just one kid, guys? Because you think you might know your children, but trust and believe, when you're dead, greed is a horrific thing. You give a copy to all your kids, okay? Wives, let me tell you what you can do to protect what you've worked for your whole life if something happens to you and your husband remarries. Because that happens a lot. Let's face it, guys. Y'all get lonely. That young girl comes along and y'all get stupid with it. And your kids get cut out of wills all the time. This is what you do, women. When you do your will with your husband, you leave your portion to your children. In other words, my will is set up that if Stephen passes first, I get his portion to use as I so choose, and then it goes to our children. If I die first, he gets my portion to do as he wants, and then it all goes to the children. But that's fixing to change. I'm going to do it in a way that some floozy, as my mama would call her, can't come in and take away from my children. So I will leave in the will that everything goes to the children. I have use of it until I die. He has a use of it until he dies. It's called Yusuf. But it's in the children's names once one of us passes. Does that make sense? Trust me when I tell you, protect what you have worked for your children. Do not let your siblings, your cousins, your new spouse steal from your kids. It isn't right. A righteous person doesn't do that. Hate to say that. I loved my father-in-law, but he really screwed the pooch with this one. We're fine. We owe everything. But he could have set his daughter up, who seriously needed it, on a piece of property. It was a rundown trailer, but it was a roof over her head for a first time in a long time, with a little bit of cash from that life insurance policy. And she would have been okay. I would have helped her homestead it. She would have had a roof over her head. My husband and I could stop worrying about her. That's not what happened in this situation. So don't be that person. Don't die and cost your children money. Like, you guys help pay for that. And you don't know how much that means to me. But there should have never been that situation. We were told the money was there to bury him for the past 5 years. But when all actuality, when it all came down, none of that came to fruition. So people have a tendency to say things, and then as they're getting closer to passing, they're very easily manipulated. Take care of your business. Be an adult. Flip and get something on paper. Protect your children's inheritance, because that's what the Bible says you're supposed to do. So I love you guys. Like, comment, subscribe. If you'd like to row in our boat, look in the bottom. Top comment. You guys know what to do. It's hot. It's so hot today. And I'm done. I'm going to bed. Love you guys.